What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Bowhunt or Die. It's late October, which means Todd is in a tree somewhere and I'm flying solo here in the office. You know, this week we got a couple fun hunts for you. We got Josh Fletcher and his girlfriend Sara as they go out and try to get Sara her very first deer ever. I think it's a really cool hunt. You guys are going to enjoy it. Then we're going to check in with Matt Miller down in Illinois at his property. He has an encounter with a pretty awesome buck, but you're going to have to watch to see exactly how it ends. So I'm going to stop talking, grab your popcorn, let's go.
It's October 5th. We just got out here at the property. Sarah's going to be the main one that's going to be hunting, so we're going to set up on a food plot. It's really windy out. We got about 18 mile per hour winds right now out of the southwest. Good wind. It's blowing a little bit, but we're going to get set up in a stand and we're going to go sit on a food plot and see if we can fill a doe tag. Yeah, it's a buck. He's all yours, I think. It's a forker. Just relax, don't too far. You're good, just get ready. Just take deep breaths. Just relax. Go ahead, draw. There you go. Nice shot, you got him. Just watch him. You heard a shot at him. Oh, I think he just went down right here. I think he just saw him go down in the tall grass right here. Nice job, baby. Nice job. I think it got the back of his shoulder. Yeah, that was a perfect shot. All right. This is so weird. Sara may have just got her first buck. It's a forker. We're on a food plot. We've never seen him before on any of our cameras. We've been waiting for a doe. He'd come out, give her about a 20-yard shot. And of course, anybody that's been with someone else while they are hunting and filmed it, know that that's probably the hardest thing to do because you don't have any control. I don't know what I got for video footage because I'm trying to help coach and watch, and I'm staring back and forth and trying to get on camera, and I lost him. But we'll review the footage. The shot looked good. He ran back here. I think we saw him go down, but I'm not for certain. So we're going to give him a little bit. We're not going to rush it. We got plenty of time yet. We might even shoot a doe. It's not even 6 yet. Yeah, we got plenty of time here. Blood on the ground behind it too.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a bunch on that. Oh, there's my arrow. Right there.
Oh, right here it's broken. I think so.
So we found some blood. We trailed him probably 60 yards and it looked like he bedded down. There was a big pool of blood on the grass and then some in the bed where we found that he laid down. And then couldn't find any more blood after that. And when we got that far, I saw a tail jump up and run out in front of us, and we went and got a flashlight and it looks like him. So we're gonna back out of here and wait until morning and see if he is still there in the morning.
All right, well, we came back out to the property. So what happened is last night, as Sarah said, we took up the trail. We didn't track but 40 yards probably, and 60 yards from the point of impact. So we were maybe 20 to 30 yards from him. We were only 40 yards on the blood trail. The buck gets up and trots off, and he went maybe another 60 yards, 70 yards tops. And he's along it'd be our north horse pasture right along the fence line. And he was just standing there. Grabbed the binoculars, this is at dark, and I could see that it was him with the fork, and his butt was facing me and his head was down. I don't know if he's sniffing the ground. I don't know what was going on with him. But at that stage in the game, best to just back out. We came back in. Now in the morning, we're assuming that Sarah got one lung on him, maybe caught the bottom of the other lung. Not exactly sure, but when in doubt, back out is always a theory, and that's the thing. So it's now about 6 o'clock in the morning. We both have to work, so we had to get up fairly early here in the morning, and we're gonna go in and see if he's where he was last night when we left him. Hopefully he's there dead.
Oh, he did have an exit wound. Right?
Yep, he didn't go much further.
We found a baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, now you're bleeding.
Look at that. That is nice.
So awesome.
Talk to us. Tell us what you think.
Oh my goodness. We actually found him. So the blood trail, we picked it up again this morning and it was pretty sparse. We found a couple dollar-sized spots on the ground, and then it was about 20 yards and we'd find another couple drops and then another couple drops, and we just kept trailing him and found him at last. Oh my goodness. Oh.
He is, I mean, he only went another 10 yards from where we last saw him. And
Yep.
cut into.
He wasn't looking so good last night, and we're hoping he was just gonna bed down right there, and he kept going a little bit and tried to make an escape into the marsh, but didn't quite make it there. But it looks like he was bleeding out both sides, which you wouldn't have known from the blood trail. So, but he's still got about 8 inches of arrow in him, so that probably helped our cause there a little bit. Bleeding out. So we must have.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Hey everybody, Matt Miller here. Today I'm in West Central Illinois. It is late October and the conditions are perfect to go kill a big buck, and that's what I'm going to try and do today. So as you guys can probably tell, I've had a little bit of an upgrade this year. My family and I were super fortunate to have picked up this camper last spring, and it's my first hunting season being able to sleep in a camper. I gotta tell you, it's kind of nice. Last year, for those of you that followed me, I did a lot of sleeping in the back of the truck, even when it was really cold during late season, and it's not much fun. So I've got running water, I've got electricity, and it's kind of nice, so not gonna lie. But I have got some great big bucks on this property, and I gotta get into a tree. I'm running a little bit late. It's almost 4 o'clock right now, so I'm gonna go get after it. Once I get in a tree, I'll give you guys another update. For those of you familiar with this part of the state, not a lot of timber, but super fortunate to have a bunch of it on this hunting lease. And the northwest corner, I call it the northwest block. It's a straight 40-acre block of timber, which is one of the biggest blocks of timber for quite a ways. And a ton of deer in it. So getting pictures of 3 different bucks that I would shoot in here, one of which I had directly under my tree stand last year. And he's a dandy this year. He's got a tine snapped off, but not going to stop me from shooting him if he shows up tonight. So I got to get in here and get settled. But I'll give you guys a look from the tree here in just a couple of minutes. Well, I'm in. I wish the wind was maybe a little bit better. It's almost wrong, but not quite. So the wind is kind of predominantly blowing that way, but I've got a low spot right behind me and there's not much wind, so I'm hoping this thermal's going to suck it right down into the low spot behind me tonight. This is a killer spot. I moved this tree stand a few weeks ago. I was just down the hill that way last year where I encountered that big 8-pointer. He's a 3-year-old last year. Nice deer, but just not what I was looking for, and he's definitely in here this year. So last year he responded. I peed out of the stand and he came right in and stuck his nose right in it, so he's very responsive to scent, and I had 2 different bucks that night within shooting range. So tonight I've got Scrape Generator from Buck Bomb. I'm going to put a healthy dose of this on some of the leaves and right next to me here, and let this just kind of blow down through the timber, and we'll see if something doesn't pop up and follow it a little bit. So I gotta be quiet because if these deer are in here, they're probably real close right now. I've got a cell cam, I don't know, 80 yards that way, and I've been getting deer on camera within shooting hours almost every single night up there. So fingers crossed, hopefully they follow the script tonight. Man, that's frustrating. So close. I had him less than 20 yards for a good 10 minutes, and he came right across my track that I walked in here on. Totally the wrong direction. But that's deer hunting, I guess. Got a good 20 minutes left or so until I gotta get out of here and run out of light, but let's see if something else shows up. If not, I'll be back after it in the morning.
Well, first of all, big congratulations to Sara. She made a perfect shot on that deer. I mean, I don't know how the deer didn't fall within sight. I was amazed that they actually kicked that deer up later. It looked like a perfect shot. From talking to Josh, she did end up getting both lungs. She got that near side lung perfectly and then kind of low and back in that second lung. It was still a double lung shot. The deer didn't go far, just took them a little while to expire. So congratulations to Sara. That was an awesome moment. And I believe that Josh and Sara shared the very first kiss, on-screen kiss in Bowhunter Die history. You know, contrary to popular belief, Todd and I have never kissed on camera. So Josh and Sara, you guys get the honor of that. So congratulations to both of you. That was a cool hunt to watch. As for Matt, you know, it was kind of hard to tell in the footage how close that deer was to getting shot. He literally came up to Matt's shooting lane. Matt was ready to go. That deer needed to take about 2 steps and he was dead. And like those big bucks do, he just, for whatever reason, just decided to turn and go a different way. I know that one is a heartbreaker. It's amazing how close we have been over the years on some of those bigger deer. And it's like they just know something isn't right and they turn at the last minute. So I know Matt's still getting a lot of good trail camera pictures of some bucks, both here at home as well as down south. So it's only a matter of time before he finally gets on one of them. He's got a rutcation coming up pretty soon. So we're hopeful that Matt's going to be able to put a deer down before long. Next up, we're going to jump into an Ask the Experts section. Of course, this is brought to you by the fine folks over at Lancaster Archery. So I guess I'm answering this week's question, so let's jump into it right now. I'm actually going to do 2 questions this week because, well, Todd's not here to tell me that I can. So first question is from, I'm going to butcher this, Mark Mikulski maybe. What would be your go-to binoculars? I don't have huge ag fields or many long-range opportunities, but I want to be able to scan and get a good look at what's around me. You know, it's a funny story. When I first started hunting and working with Todd, 16 years ago, I used to carry those teeny tiny little like Tasco binoculars that you would get from Walmart, and I barely ever used them. And I remember the first time I went hunting with Todd, he was like, what are those? And I was like, I'm bow hunting, dude. Why do I need to see far away? I can only shoot 20 yards anyways. And Todd actually let me borrow a pair of his binoculars, and ever since then I've just been hooked because it's amazing what you can see with a good pair of binoculars through the brush. Even if it's 60, 80, 100 yards away, you don't have to look a half a mile away, but a good pair of optics has proven itself to be invaluable to me over the years. I started out with an 8x42 was like my preferred choice. I've now moved to a 10x42, and I think most of the guys on the team are also using a 10x42 optic. It just seems to be the best for bow hunting. So the 10 power is going to give you a little bit more magnification than the 8 is. So if you are a guy that's only worried about thicker cover and maybe you want something that's a little bit smaller and lighter weight, the 8x42s are a great option. Otherwise, the 10x42s seem to be kind of the preferred go-to for most of your Midwestern and East whitetail hunters. Of course, we're using Vortex. I've long used Vortex Vipers was kind of my go-to binoculars. I've since upgraded to the Razor HDs, which I absolutely love, but I still think that for the price, the Vortex Vipers are really hard to beat in terms of a good quality optic. So that's your first question and answer for this week. The next one's going to be a little bit shorter. It comes from Mike Minnerly, and he says, do you ever grunt when fishing for deer or only after you see them? So I think what he means is blind calling, right? How often you just grunt when you don't see a deer around. I think everybody's different. For me personally, I don't do a lot of blind calling. Not to say that I never do it. I'll certainly do it when the conditions I think are right. But it's not something that I do super, super often. I prefer to call to deer that I see so that I can base what I do next on their reaction to it and their body language. When you're blind calling, you just never know what's out there. It certainly works. I've blind called deer in the past, but it's certainly not my preferred thing. I think part of the reason for that is the minute that you start making noise, whether you're rattling, grunting, snort wheezing, whatever, you're putting those deer on alert and they're coming in looking for you. So you just have to be a lot more careful. You don't want to get caught off guard. They're looking for movement. They're looking for another deer. Whereas I like to just try to ambush them where they're just walking through the woods and they never have any idea that you're there. But I do it, just not very often. So that is the answer to your Ask the Experts question. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Remember, if you guys want to ask a question that gets used here in the show, make sure you log on to the website, bowhunting.com, click on Ask the Experts, submit your questions. We pick out some of the better ones and answer them here in the show. Next up is trophy photos. So let's take a look at this week's submissions. Anthony Bird, Chris Dunn, Christopher Consler, Derek Jerenser, Dustin Riggs, and Jeremiah Gagnon. All right, congratulations, everybody. Those are some awesome trophies and some great pictures this week. It came down to 2 pictures. It came down to Dustin Riggs and Derek Jaron, sir, and Derek, I'm probably butchering your name, but I ended up picking Derek as the winner. There's just something about that photo that I really like. Honestly, you know what I think it is? I think it's the smile on his face. He looks happy to have shot a deer. There's so many of you guys that send these photos in, you guys look angry. Like you're not smiling at all, you're just like, killed this deer. Not super happy about it, but take the picture. So Derek, you are our winner for this week. Congratulations, great buck, great smile, great photo. Make sure you get your information sent in to us. We will get your Hunter Specialties and Buck Bomb prize pack sent out ASAP. I feel like I talked a lot in this episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching. This is the Friday episode of Bowhunter Die. We are planning on having a Sunday episode as well. Last week's show with Johnny Herman did really, really well. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. So we're going to do another episode this Sunday, which is actually going to be my weeks, I guess, 3 and 4 update on some of my buck sightings. And if you follow the socials, my recent buck harvest from yesterday morning. So you'll see that Sunday, November 1st. Make sure you guys tune in, and we will see you next time right here on Bowhunter Die. Derek, what the hell is that? Jaron, sir? Garin, sir? G-E-R. Gare or Jer? I should probably know this since my kids are like doing this stuff in school. Long G's, not, I don't know. I'm gonna go Garen, sir. Or Jaron. Jaron, sir? Garin, sir.